Hi, good evening. I'm Robert Welsh. Welcome to the Palais des Sports in Bordeaux, southwest France. We're coming up in just a few seconds are the IBF Championship of the World Junior Featherweight Division over 12 3-minute rounds featuring Fabrice Benichou of France against Ramon Cruz of Puerto Rico. Here we have Ramon Cruz on screen, 23 years of age, 55.33 kg. A record, according to us, Cedric, of 19 fights with 4 losses. My co-commentator this evening, the well-known American boxing promoter, Cedric Kushner. So, Cedric, welcome to Bordeaux, France.
Hello, Robin, and welcome to this #1 challenger, the mandatory title defense, the 122-pound division, the junior featherweight division.
On screen at the moment, you can see as we're waiting for the fighters to come into the ring with a brief shot of the champion, Benichou. And here's Cruz, make his way right into the Palais des Sports, as we're overwhelmed by the local music coming in right now. Here's Benichou, really steamy in there, getting ready to come out, 24 years of age, right on the weight limit, 55.1 kg, 24 victories, 8 defeats. This is his second defense of his title he won back in May. His first defense was against South African Francis Bartenhorst in Italy in June, which he won very convincingly by putting down Francis Bartenhorst towards the beginning of the 5th round, Cedric.
That's right. A very, very good, very, very strong fighter. Comes out very quickly. He's a very, very fast starter, Robin. And I expect him to do the same thing this evening.
Well, Cedric, if we look at the few critical points of this fight, Cruz is going to have a height and reach advantage. Will Cruz box or mix it? That's the question as well, because if he chooses to box, he may well be able to keep this man Benichou down. Cedric?
I spoke earlier on this afternoon, just before we came to the arena, I spoke to Cruz's manager, Mr. Raul Marquez, and he told me that that was very definitely their game plan, that they had seen some tapes of Benichou. They had not seen him fight personally, but they had seen some tapes of him, and that was the way they were going to fight him, try and keep him off. Cruz is both a good puncher, but more of a boxer, and I think that's the correct way to fight Benichou.
But here's Cruz in the ring. We've heard tell whispers that he disappeared a little bit and did a time inside for drug addiction. We're not sure. But here comes the man himself, Fabrice Benichou, boxer with a colored personal history, born in Madrid, Spain, working out in Luxembourg for tax reasons, but now resident most of the time in Bordeaux, France, southwest France to be precise. Getting a great reception this evening from about the 1,500 people crowd here, the Palais des Sports in Bordeaux, the wine country of southwest France, Cedric.
A very, very strong showing for the local champion. I don't know if you noticed, Robin, he's a very, very colorful and a very likable young man. He's got a Star of David tattooed on the back of his head. Not tattooed, but somewhat engraved with his hairdo.
Well, we're going the American anthem now for Ramon Cruz from Puerto Rico. We carry on with our critical points of the fight. Benichou's boxing skills, they seem to improve. He's a very intelligent fighter, but we've got to be careful, or he has to be careful, that he doesn't always lapse into the brawling mode. He cuts fairly easily, as we know.
That's right.
From 2 previous fights against Nuruddin and against Sanabria in his first fight when he tried to get Sanabria's title. Will Benichou go the distance if this man Cruz manages to jab him away?
Benichou most certainly is capable of going the distance. He's a very, very well-conditioned athlete, and he most certainly has the capabilities of going the distance. He also has a good chin. I believe he's only been stopped once in all his fights. And having fought Sanabria, who was a very, very capable fighter, he beat Sanabria in his second attempt, and Sanabria had him down in that fight in the last round, but he scored a unanimous decision, however, a very close one.
There we see round the back of Benichou's head the Star of David. The first time I've seen a boxer with that etched into his hair. I've seen it tattooed, but never into his hair. Ramon Cruz then is the #1 challenger from Ponce in Puerto Rico, probably going into the most important fight of his life. Here we have Mr. Max Parker from the United States. He's the referee for this evening. And our judges are Mr. Ramos and Mr. White from the United States. Mr. Edmond Fawn from France. Cedric,
That's right.
The choice of Mr. Fawn, a bit controversial.
Not really, no. They're entitled, the champion is entitled to, most certainly entitled to one judge from his own country. I suppose in a sense, Puerto Rico and America could be considered the same, so you've really got 3 American officials and 1 French official. I don't think there's anything unfair or uneven about that at all.
But as I was saying, this is the most important fight in the professional and probably amateur life of Ramon Cruz. Benichou, undoubtedly the hardest puncher and the strongest man this boy Cruz has ever taken on in his professional career, which started about 6 years ago. A rather inactive, patchy career, Cedric, compared with Benichou. This career we'll look at a little later. He seems to be fighting in a flurry all the time.
Robin, if there's one key I could see to the entire fight, it may have to be that. Benichou's been a very active fighter, especially in 1988. I believe he had 8 fights.
And going back to 87, he fought 9 times. He's often fighting twice in 1 month, Cedric, which in many countries is not allowed.
That's right. I'm a very dear friend of Gil Clancy, the famed color analyst from the United States, and Gil always believes, keep the fighters busy, keep them busy. Don't try and get all the biggest dollars you can in every fight. Fight for fewer dollars, but go ahead and fight on a regular basis.
Well, going back through the years, Cedric, all the great champions used to fight very regularly.
Right.
If we look back further, Benichou had 6 fights in 86. As we said, in 87, 9 fights, 88, 9 fights, but this is only his 3rd fight in 89, in fact.
Well,
so this is a slow year for him.
It is understandable because, having won the title, there are a lot more preparations that are put in to putting a title fight together, and they do take much longer.
Here we go then. This is going to be round 1, the World IBF Championship Junior Featherweight Tournament. Cruz versus Benichou, Bordeaux, Southwest France. I'm Robin Welsh. With me at ringside, Cedric Kushner. Here we go, round 1.
As I said, look out for Benichou to come out very fast with some wild throwing, wild punches.
Benichou with a record of 30 fights, 123, lost 6, 1 no contest, 15 knockouts. The record we've got from Cruz's manager, fought 22, 119, lost 3. Good punch there, a good left from Fabrice Benichou.
Robin, he throws them from all angles. He's very, very difficult to fight.
He lets go in a very unconventional manner, these bombs from left and right.
That's
Being
right.
a shorty and always having to fight uphill, so to speak. He's developed this very unconventional style of fighting.
But Cruz looks nice and composed as he comes in there.
Cruz, as we said, if he's going to do anything in this fight, he's got to last out the early pressure. He's got to jab away, keep away from that danger. That's it. A left there.
If I were in Cruz's corner, I would tell him to stick and move, stick and move.
As soon as Cruz stands still, Fabrice Benichou gets a couple of those swinging shots right off. As soon as Cruz jabs, Benichou moves back. That should be the lesson for Cruz.
Keep the pressure up.
Great power in those swings there from Benichou. This is Cruz's first fight in Europe. He fought 4 times in 84, 5 times in 85, and has been very sporadic ever since. So presently he's a Central American title holder, and he beat Morales with a KO in round 2 in May 89.
Good strong jab by Cruz there.
Well, already Cruz knows the power of those punches from this man Benichou, those wild swings.
Those wild swings, you have to try and avoid them.
As did the South African Francis Bordeaux 3 or 4 months ago in Italy. He finally found after 5 rounds he couldn't last with those swinging, raining blows coming down on him.
Robin, you expend a lot of energy when you throw and don't land. But that's not the case here this evening in the first round. Benichou is landing.
As we said, we posed the question at the beginning, has Benichou's skill improved in the 4 months since the last title defense against Bordeaux? Many people think this intelligent boy should be able to improve his skill out of sight almost. In fact, he himself says he's a better boxer in the gym than he is in the ring.
Robin, there was a rumor around the ringside earlier on today and yesterday at the hotel that he had brought in a Panamanian trainer, and 2 sparring partners, a new trainer and 2 very, very solid sparring partners to try and change his style a little bit.
Well, there we have the end of round 1, Benichou versus Cruz. This 12-round fight live from the Palais des Sports in Bordeaux. Cedric, check scorecard, round 1.
Well, of course, Robin, it's the 10-point must system, and I'm going to give 10 points to Benichou, the champion, and 9 points to Ramon Cruz.
So our unofficial scorecard, first round to the champ Benichou. Let's see what they've got to say in the Benichou corner. Okay, they're saying to Benichou, you've got to let fly a few blows around the chin of the boy in front of you, this boy Cruz. You can see the replay is really a brawling style, isn't it? Those left and right, Cedric.
It's very important when you're fighting Benichou. I've now seen him a few times. It's very important when you're fighting him not to let him dictate. Stick to a game plan and fight to your game plan. Don't let him dictate.
I rather felt that Cruz fell in between 2 stools. He wanted a jab, but occasionally he was pulled in or sucked in and got hit by those swings. Should we go round 2 then? Cruz versus Benichou, IBF junior featherweight title.
Cruz not really looking intimidated by those punches, but I would take my time if I were him.
Cruz with an amateur record of 52 and lost 4. Benichou didn't fight much as an amateur, said he fought 14 times, lost 1, and was the Israeli amateur champion before he decided to become a pro. Benichou, strangely out of touch most of the time, isn't he? A few swings get through, but if you just step back a step, he misses wildly.
Well, the key most certainly, as I said earlier, is to box him, not to try and slug with him.
Benichou is, as ever, very flat on his feet. As Cruz is bobbing, looking nice.
Cruz putting up a much, much finer performance than
a lot of people thought.
Absolutely, Robin.
Both these guys had their first pro fights at the age of 19. Benichou says his dad got him into boxing. There he is. A nice right there from Benichou. Benichou taking a couple.
Cruz's chin is definitely going to be tested this evening.
Straighter punch there from Benichou.
Cruz likes to come inside and use the uppercut.
A little bit of foul play there, but I don't think it was nastily meant. Cruz actually got through with a good right there, Cedric.
Yeah.
Nice left to the body of Benichou as well.
Good left to the body there by Cruz.
He's taking that right from Benichou. He's taking 2.
He'll have to pop that jab a little more.
He's got Benichou into the corner. Benichou trying to slug his way out. But as we said, just step back on your foot. Those swings from Benichou, they miss you by a mile.
That's right. Cruz seems to be taking this quite in his stride.
Nice look of concentration on Cruz's face. He, this day, seems to professionally know what he's up to. Here we go then, round 3. Cruz versus Benichou. IBF junior featherweight title shot here from Bordeaux, France. Benichou opens his account with a nice swinging right.
He's got Cruz's attention, but Cruz is punching with some authority now himself, Robin. That was a nice little combination there.
Cruz getting a bit fed up. I think he felt that Benichou was holding him so he couldn't respond. Oh, low blow there.
I don't think it was quite as severe as Benichou is making it out to be.
Distinctly accidental. Anyway, he's got plenty of time to recover. Indicating the judges in a very angry fashion, I think. I was hit low. So as we're always told, Cedric, those protectors should be able to take the weight of a baseball bat. And that certainly wasn't a baseball bat which hit him. Anyway, let's go on. Into round three.
Benichou is a very bright young man.
He probably knows he can gain a bit of time there. Take a breather.
That's right. Take advantage of the rule.
Benichou's boxing heroes, Cedric, are Virgil Hill and the great Roberto Duran.
Those are his two boxing heroes.
Whilst Ramon Cruz says Wilfredo Gomez is the man he most respects in boxing.
One of the legends in boxing, three-time world champion, of course, also a native of Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, of course, the home of so many fine, past and present boxers. Benichou swinging, but not really getting in there. Cruz is thinking about this in the third round. He's poking out that jab and retiring.
He's picking the pace up a little bit, Robin. It's the correct thing to do.
He's got to be so careful, Cruz, with these lefts and these rights. It's come almost from the bootlaces of Benichou. If they hit you, they really make you go into a haymaker, right over the top of the hayrick towards the stars. Cruz has got to keep away, keep that jab going, bob, dance and weave, take the little point when it comes up. So be careful of those swings from Benichou. Benichou, of course, got to get in there, get in as close as he can, let those hooks go and really get on target.
Good round for Cruz thus far.
Just as we say that, Benichou comes out with a couple of
that's right.
haymakers.
I sometimes wonder if Benichou knows how to jab, but he gets the job done without jabbing.
Good right there from Benichou, a real solid one. Here we go into the end of round three. Cedric, I think that's a Benichou round again.
An interesting round, a little closer there, but I still have to give it to the champion. You see, I spoke earlier on about a corner that was composed and not confused. You hear so much shouting in the Benichou corner.
There's the Cruz corner very calm. Here we go, round four, Cruz versus Benichou, IBF junior featherweight title, live from Bordeaux in France. At this stage we've got the champion Benichou ahead in all three rounds, and here we are in round four. Fabrice Benichou, the champion, is a simple family guy outside the ring, has a wife and two kids, lives in a very quiet area of France. And he's even managed to put his gym and his sparring into, I think, the barn outside the farm there.
That's what he told me. He lived in the mountain, and there were only 3 other homes within a couple of miles. Good solid right-hand punch.
Ramon Cruz, of course, is an excellent baseball player in Puerto Rico. And he also likes watching Formula One car racing. So at this stage, he's facing a battle of his own here as he faces the champion Fabrice Benichou from France. As Ramon Cruz tries to wrest away this IBF junior featherweight title here in Bordeaux, southwest France, the home of the wine country. Gateway to the red wine or the white wine, whatever you feel like, Cedric.
Good jab there by Cruz. I think that's what the corner's told him to do. Go out there and try and keep that jab working.
I've noticed the last round and a half, Cedric, these swings from Benichou becoming less and less, in fact. So there's a couple that brings the crowd back to life. But he's not as active as he was 3 rounds ago.
Well, he has slowed down somewhat, Robin, but he's a very, very deceptive guy. I think he's very tough, Robin. He's not the kind of fighter not the kind of fighter that you would.
He's very unconventional. He really is a brawler at his best. A little chap with a lot of ego in the ring, I think we could say. The crowd really getting behind him now, egging him on. Can he finish this man, Ramon Cruz, off in the 4th round? This is about the time that Benichou likes to do it.
Just when you think, Robin, when you think you've upset his game plan, that's when Benichou will come back at you. With one of those swiping blows.
Fabrice Benichou, the champion in the white shorts with the red band. The challenger, the number one challenger from Puerto Rico, Ramon Cruz, in the red shorts with the white top. Coming into the end of the fourth round, we've got the champ Benichou ahead on our cards with the first 3 rounds. But Ramon Cruz by no means outclassed, doing a good job, just slightly behind in each round.
Good solid round. Action on both sides.
As we said at the beginning, our little special points. The longer it goes, the more chance there is for Ramon Cruz.
But Cruz himself looks in very, very good condition.
Here we go, round 5. Fabrice Benichou, the champion from France, against Ramon Cruz from Puerto Rico, the IBF Junior Featherweight Championship, here live from Bordeaux, southwest France. At this stage, we've got Benichou ahead on all the first 4 rounds. That's the unofficial card. Let's see how the challenger in particular can do this round. Ramon Cruz from Puerto Rico, the red shorts with a white band around the top. Lacking in experience compared with Benichou. Taking a few haymakers here from Benichou. Cruz bends over.
Cruz bends over and stays out of the way there. Benichou then went to his body.
It looks a little bit ferocious there, Benichou. As belies his real character out of the ring when he likes music, he likes playing with his kids, yoga, meditating. He's even learning to fly an aeroplane. So this is an intelligent boxer, to say the least. He regards boxing as a means to get a fair bit of cash in the bank, and then he's going to pack it up. Ramon Cruz, apparently if he wins tonight, he's going to defend for 2 or 3 times, and he's also going to pack it up. This is a hard game, boxing. Saying really top-class boxing here from Bordeaux, France. Benichou trying to pile on the pressure. And Cruz having none of it.
No, I think that was the most effective punch of the fight, though, the one we just saw from Benichou, that right, but Cruz weathering the storm very well.
Cruz is stuck to his gun, Cedric. He's not been flustered, he hasn't been put down, he's taken a few shots. He never looked as though he was in trouble. Nor is Benichou for that matter.
That's right.
Benichou, of course, has been cut a couple of times in serious fights, and there's always a worry that those eyes might pop open at some stage if it goes the full distance. Benichou, of course, won the championship from Sanabria only about 12 months ago on a disputed decision in his hometown of Limoges. And I think we can well say, as we're told by our friend Barney Eastwood, it probably was a hometown decision at that stage. Anyway, Benichou plugging forward. Ramon Cruz bouncy up and down, takes the left, comes to the right. Moving his head back.
If I were in Cruz's corner, I would now start telling him to pick the pace up.
Well, we're into round 5, Cedric. We're almost halfway there. Not quite, but we're close to halfway there. Round 5 with about 25 seconds left. This IBF Junior Featherweight title shot. Fabrice Benichou from France, the champ, against Ramon Cruz, the number 1 contender from Puerto Rico. Doing a good job here, Ramon Cruz. Far better than anybody thought. They all thought he'd be carried out by now. But here he is, still in there, towards the end of round 5. Now and again, poking out a couple of good shots to Benichou. Benichou, as we said, sat down in his corner and said, this is going to be a marathon, it's going to go the whole way. Cedric, round 5?
Round 5, I'm going to give the round. Whether I like it or not, I have to give the round correctly to Benichou. Much more active, even though slowed down a touch, but much more active than Cruz. And as I alluded to, if I were in Cruz's corner, I would tell him, now come on, this is a 12-round fight. You're fighting against the champion. You're already 3 or 4 points behind for sure. You've got to win 1 or 2 rounds within the first 6. Otherwise, the only way you can win is to knock him out.
Well, here we see one of those terrific overarm rights coming out from Benichou, followed by a smashing round left, which caught Ramon Cruz flash on the chin. And more of these blows, they're all coming through, some are catching, some aren't.
Look at that, Robin, literally from all angles, left and right hand, swinging them wildly.
It's a hard fighter to fight. You've got to be so careful, so professional. so on guard. Here we go then, round 6. Coming into the halfway stage of this title fight. IBF Junior Featherweight Division. Fabrice Benichou against Ramon Cruz.
Good right hand by Benichou. But Cruz seems to have a very good button, Robin.
Well,
You haven't seen him wobble.
Punch.
Absolutely.
Cruz's manager told me he likes to throw uppercuts, so I haven't seen a left or a right uppercut yet from Cruz.
Been staying on the outside. He's going to have to try and get on the inside now to try and use those uppercuts.
Benichou stepping up the pace a little bit in round 6. Letting fly all those blows, some to the head, some to the body. It's so difficult to fight this boy Benichou when he gets into a roll. Those punches seem to rain in from everywhere.
And
I think Cruz in a little bit of trouble here.
A good uppercut there by Cruz. Robin, I don't really think he's in trouble. I think he's handling it very, very well.
Well, there we are, those uppercuts. For the first time we've seen them in this fight in round 6. But as you get the crowd up together, they're really on his side now. Must be hard to be Cruz in there. There's no one cheering for him. No one cheering for the boy from Puerto Rico. But he's sticking to his guns.
Benichou threw a lot of punches in that round, in that flurry, Robin. You can see he's a little tired.
Well, the danger we said that Benichou won't go the distance. He may tire and not be able to go right through the fight. This is the one problem for him.
That's fine.
Cruz coming back, sticking to his guns, flicking out that left.
Absolutely.
Dropped his right and took a little shot there from Benichou.
Benichou's mouth open.
Good punch to the body there from Benichou. Nice little duck and dive there from Cruz. Cruz just leaning back, missing those punches. That's the way to treat Benichou. Just keep moving, bend backwards, slip your shoulders.
Maybe at this point I'd say Cruz is giving him a little too much respect.
It seems almost as if he's boxing on eggs. He's afraid to crush one. To really put that foot down and really get in there, Cedric. Here we are then coming into the end, the last 12-13 seconds of round 6. Fabrice Benichou of France against Ramon Cruz of Puerto Rico, the IBF Junior Featherweight title shot, 12 rounds. We've gone 6. At this stage, we've got Benichou ahead. On our card, all rounds. Little blow after the bell there, nothing naughty. Brought the crowd to their feet.
This is the situation that I was talking about. When you're fighting a 12-round fight, and you've lost all 6 rounds, if you don't score a point or 2 in the first 6 rounds, you've got to win by knockout in order to win, especially if you fight the champion.
Benichou is blowing quite badly, Cedric. You can hear him. It's really coming through strongly over the audio here. He's got a nasal problem, I think, there.
Well, as I said earlier,
He's looking a little bit tired.
Robin, he threw a lot of punches in that, especially in that last round, and most certainly in that particular flurry that we referred to.
Fresh. Slight mark under his left eye, but nothing serious. Benichou's corner telling him, don't worry, just keep at it. Stick to the game.
Panadero, looking very, very fresh. Panadero Cruz, which means the bread maker in Spanish.
Here we go then, round 7, Benichou Cruz. Ramon, the bread maker, Panadero Cruz. Sword boxing by his hairdresser. Decided to take it up professionally, is now a hairdresser himself. Benichou picks it up. Cruz pokes his nose at him. Says, you can't do much to me.
I think Benichou's had that happen quite often and ended up being the victor.
Well, in his last fight against Spartan Horse did the same to him, and he got knocked out.
A good right-hand punch by Cruz, which landed.
He's backing away there. He's backpedaling.
I think a slight cut under the left eye of...
We saw a slight one at the end of the 6th round, Cedric.
Benichou.
Benichou's also got a cut. The Cruz corner getting very excited.
A nasty cut opened there on Benichou's eye, a bad cut on his left eye.
Well, I couldn't see whether that came from a blow or from a head there, Cedric.
Well, it doesn't make a difference because the referee didn't indicate that it was a blow. It was an unintentional butt. He would have to stop the fight and indicate to the official. This could be very serious for the Benichou camp.
Cruz's camp shouting, get up there, get up that eye, I'm sure. The French crowd gone very quiet here, Cedric. I think they realized that...
their man could be in some trouble.
Well, exactly. Something which they have not been accustomed to with this boy could happen.
If you'll notice, Benichou was blinking there, having some difficulty seeing out of that left eye.
Which will give him an awful lot of problems getting off his shots with that left hand, and even seeing some of the blows coming. Cruz gets in a shot right into the eye there.
Right there, right. Just exactly what you were talking about, Robin.
Benichou, of course, against Sanabria in his first chance against Sanabria, lost that on a cut eye. He had to be stopped. And also against Nuruddin a few years back, he also lost that fight on a cut eye. So this is serious time for the champion Fabrice Benichou. Benichou's corner also behind us looking very anxious. The Cruz corner urging Cruz to go on. You've got 23 seconds left. Get in there. Go on. Go for that eye. Cruz taking his time. He's moving. Cruz taking a left there, a right rather, from Benichou. Cruz, I think, has suddenly realized with about 5 seconds to go that he's done something in this round. Just kind of content to bounce it away, Cedric.
I might score that an even round, Robin.
Even round there, Cedric. Well, still leaves Benichou miles up front. He's got a cut on his left eye. It also looks to me, Cedric, as though on this right eye there might be something. It looks a little bit strange here. Little mark there.
Just a little welt underneath there. You can see right on the screen, Robin.
Benichou's corner saying, don't worry about it. Let's see how, maybe we can see how he got that cut eye. I know it's there already, but there's the right hand there. Going straight into the eye. That's a professional boxer's punch, Cedric.
He did that very effectively. Ramon Cruz did a couple of times.
Build up on your opposition. He's in trouble. The name of the game is to finish him off, Cedric. Here we go. Benichou Cruz. Benichou's corner saying, you're the champion. Benichou looking rather bad around both eyes now, Cedric. The right also a little bit blue there.
Robin, the corner appears to have done a nice job.
The crowd getting behind Benichou. This is the 8th round in IBF junior featherweight title from Bordeaux, France. Ramon Cruz has the Benichou champion here in a spot of bother. Cut above his left eye. The right eye also not so good. This could be the time when Cruz piles on the pressure to get that title. Or Benichou comes forward and puts down this man Cruz to put the agony out of his ring this evening. I wonder what's going through Benichou's mind at this stage, Cedric.
I don't know, but frankly, I'm thinking more to myself what's going through Ramon Cruz's mind. You've got to take the title from the champion. You've got to be more authoritative. He's got to have more intensity than he's having. He's displaying. He's very calm. He's very composed. That's all very well and good, except you don't score points that way.
Well, he's behind on points on all rounds that we got so far, just about. But he has cut this man over the eye. Benichou comes back in, swinging those punches. Cruz's corner, as we can see, shouting. Keep away, just keep that jab going. Go for that eye.
Punching up and down.
Man Benichou, so difficult to come forward against and escape. Suddenly brings up these swinging haymakers from his boots. You've got to be so careful.
The eye appears to be holding up well, Robin.
Yeah, the corner's done a good job there. Champion Fabrice Benichou, the red band around the waist with the white shorts. Ramon Cruz, the challenger from Puerto Rico, the red shorts with a white band around the middle. Mark card at this stage, Fabrice Benichou, the champ, well ahead, but cut over his right eye, over his left eye rather. Having to fight in there to hold on to his title. Cruz coming through with a couple of good punches there.
Right, getting a few punches through, but not busy enough, Robin.
He should be swarming all over Benichou now, trying to do something with the problems that Benichou's facing.
Sticking to a good game plan, but not picking the pace up. There we are. That's a little better.
Yeah, good flurry there from Ramon Cruz. But even still, Benichou managed to get off a left there from some unheard of angle. Last 20 seconds of round 8. Cruz here still not being authoritative to really make anyone believe he can be the champion, I think.
Ramon Cruz, we see him there. He looks in good condition.
Well, here we go then, Cedric, into round 9. Benichou versus Cruz, the IBF junior featherweight title from the Palais des Sports in Bordeaux. The unconventional boxer there, the champ, Fabrice Benichou. Problems with his corner there, too much water on the edge of the ring. The referee, Max Parker from the States, wipes it away with his boots. Round 9. Fabrice Benichou was the European Bantamweight title early last year, but lost it on his first defense against Belcastro of Italy. And then he moved into the junior featherweight division. And here he is, the champion, second title defense. Slugging it out with Ramon Cruz, the number 1 contender from Puerto Rico. Cruz still not doing enough work.
No, not busy enough, Robin.
I think we can say safely at this stage, Cedric, if he continued this pace, he might not be knocked out, but he won't win the title.
No, that's right. And there was a time, and I think the 7th round, that I saw Benichou after that tremendous flurry really tiring, and I thought that would have been an opportune time for Cruz to take advantage of the situation. But it appears like the exact opposite. Benichou picking the pace up as opposed to Cruz.
Well, Benichou's corner has told him to do that. You dominate the first couple of minutes. Cruz still looking pretty fresh. Hardly a mark on him. Slight graze here and there.
Robin, the fight's only 12 rounds. If he's looking fresh and he feels fresh, then he should do what he has to do in the next 4 rounds.
And, of course, he's shown Cruz that he can take those smacks from Benichou and not really show any ill effect. Benichou coming forward. Swinging those blows. A couple went downstairs to the body. This is where Cruz should be going forward. Trying to get those few points, those few vital points, or the chance to finish off Benichou with a shot to the eye. But he's not really doing it, Cedric. He's throwing out the left, backing off. Taking a punch there from Benichou. These are not the way to win rounds.
And most certainly not in the champion's home country. That eye looked a lot worse than I thought it would be. It appears not really to be a factor.
The left eye's also got a welt coming up underneath it, but I don't think that's going to get in the way of Benichou. Benichou's still as flat-footed as ever. He hasn't bounced on his feet, Cedric. There he is, a little wide stance bounce. The first one in 9 rounds. Benichou's corner urging him forward. Towards the end of the round, he hears what they're saying and he moves in. Cruz just slips away rather nonchalantly. Throws out that left. Not really gaining any points. End of round 9 is...
Not much in the round, Robin.
I think that's the Benichou round, probably. Slightly more aggressive.
Very surprising at this point.
I think it's surprising from both fighters, Cedric. I don't think we've seen the best of Benichou tonight. He's swinging, but he's not really getting through too much. And we've seen Cruz, who is jabbing, but not really doing much.
You know, you can't come with the attitude that you're going to be content just to go the 12 rounds. You can't win the title that way.
Good shot there of Benichou and Cruz in their respective corners. Benichou, the last couple of rounds or so, seems to be getting stronger in his corner. Cruz in the first couple of rounds wasn't even sitting down. Now he's sitting down. Benichou's up before him. Here we go then, round 10.
Now Cruz's corner is really trying to exalt him on.
Round 10 of Cruz versus Benichou, the IBF junior featherweight title of the world from Bordeaux. Cruz is going to win this fight. He's got to knock this boy out. He's so far behind on points, there's no way he's going to win. Benichou, on the other hand, cut over the eye. Eye holding out now, well treated by the corner. Looks as though he can hold out and retain that title. He's held for the past year or so. A lot of grease there over Benichou's eye, Cedric.
A lot of it, yes, indeed.
Hanging down like a dripping candle. Ramon Cruz, a family man, when he's out of the ring, spends all his time with his wife and kids.
If he keeps on fighting this way, he'll have a little more time to spend with them, Robin. I'm really surprised. Sometimes, with respect to some of these fighters, I wonder what goes through their heads and how many times they think they're going to get the opportunity to fight for the world championship.
Well, normally most guys only get one chance. They're rare those who get two chances and manage to win on the second or third attempt, Cedric.
He's very, very lucky if you get that one chance.
Good left there from Benichou. I think that one rocked Ramon Cruz a little. See the grimace on his face, Cedric.
Benichou's right glove appears like there's a little tape loose, but the referee hasn't noticed it.
Good punch there, Benichou to Cruz. A kind of clubbing right on the side of the head of Cruz.
Crowd chanting for Benichou.
So this nice crowd of about 1,500, 2,000 people come in for this world title fight. They don't hold these often in Bordeaux, but the last one was 3 or 4 years ago, Cedric.
It was an IBF Junior Lightweight Championship. Wasn't the IBF, sorry, the WBC between Lupi Aquino and Dwayne Thomas, which Aquino won the title.
It's nice then to bring a title fight to a city like this where they don't see too much top-class boxing. And here they got it. An excellent world title fight. The local hero, Fabrice Benichou, against Ramon Cruz. This round, Benichou's got through with a couple of very good blows, Cedric.
Not that busy, but by far the more effective punching. Well, the clock is literally running out on Cruz at this point. The strange thing is he's fighting a good game plan, but he hasn't picked up the pace.
He just can't get enough of those punches in. There he came along with his right. He went through quite nicely onto the jaw there of Benichou. Doubling up with his left.
Cruz trying a little harder there in the last 30 seconds, but...
Well, still a Benichou round according to our card. Benichou certainly knows he's been in a fight though, Cedric. He's the one who's got all the damage around the eyes. He's looking to be the real fattening hero of the evening, Cedric. They're not too worried. His corner, they're smiling. They know that the barring a real accident now in the last 2 rounds, they got this cut under control. No man's going to make it. On the other hand, Cedric, for future fights, and maybe the South African Welcome and Cheetah would fight Benichou in the near future. The cut on Benichou's face mean that fight may be some way off.
That could be a factor, definitely, but the corner seems to have that very nicely under control.
Benichou's corner saying you've only got 2 rounds to go. You've got to keep yourself going just for 2 rounds. Come on. Cruz's corner looking calm there. Cruz himself looking as though almost he's out for a Sunday stroll, Cedric. You can see no excitement there.
there's not the intensity that's needed. Absolutely not.
Referee Max Parker saying, where are you, boys? Come on, Benichou was there. Cruz is not there. Cruz now out into the ring. The timekeeper, we're waiting for you. And away we go. Round 11, Cruz versus Benichou. Fabrice Benichou from France, the champ, against the #1 challenger from Puerto Rico, Ramon Cruz. On our card, Fabrice Benichou miles ahead at this stage. Barring an accident, he must retain his title.
Only once or twice did he really appear to hurt the challenger.
In the last round, in fact. A couple of good punches from Benichou in the last round had Cruz backing off, spinning slightly. Good right there from Benichou. A little along the face of Cruz.
Where those uppercuts we heard about?
Well, we've only seen two. That was all in one round.
Robin, you know what the funny thing is? If you look at who's ahead and you look at who looks so battered up, you'd almost think it was the opposite.
Yeah. Cruz has definitely taken more punches than Benichou, but he's looking pretty cool and clean. The odd graze, as we said, on the face, but nothing serious. Benichou sticking to it, swinging away as usual. Sometimes those swinging blows shooting over the top of Cruz, but occasionally bursting through the glove. Doubling up there with his left. As Benichou moves away often, Cedric, he's very dangerous. As he moves away, he lets fly with a couple of swinging lefts and rights. Not too much power because he's moving away, but they can clip you nastily if you get caught. It's when you don't expect it.
Sometimes he can hit you on the side of your head in all angles. Good left hand. I'm not sure if he butted him there or if it was a combination of both.
Serious look on Cruz's face. Virtually seen no emotion in this fight, apart from Cruz poking his tongue out, I think, once with Benichou, and Benichou looking a bit furious when there were a few punches after the bell, and also when he was hit below the belt. Last round but one, this IBF junior featherweight title. The challenger, Ramon Cruz, trying to wrest away the title from the champ, Fabrice Benichou, in his second title defense. But looping right from Benichou.
Cruz displaying, most certainly he can take a very good crack.
Almost a phlegmatic look on Cruz's face. He's saying, so what, you can hit me, but I can't put you down either.
That doesn't make too much of a difference. The judges see it in another, from a different perspective.
If you want to be a world champion, you've got to go out there and take it, boys. And Cruz has shown tonight that he can't go out there and take it. Here we are, end of round 11, one round to go. I think we can see a firework round coming up, Cedric. I think Benichou's going to go out. He knows he's got the thing in the bag. I'm just wondering whether his pride's going to come into effect, Cedric. He's gone the whole distance now. I don't think he likes that.
Well, of course, if he were clever, all he would do is he would just box.
Box, because 3 minutes is an awfully long time, and you get that cut opening again. Cruz, same as ever for the last 11 rounds. Cruz's manager there in the corner, Cedric.
Raul Marquez, I'm sure Raul must be saying to him, Ramon, this is it. One more round.
You've only got one more round left. You're miles behind. Some of the replays, there's that very good swinging right there from Benichou. Just clipped Cruz on the edge of the chin. Benichou's corner saying, don't be stupid, you got it. 3 rounds, 3 minutes to go. Here we go then, the last round from Bordeaux, France. Cruz versus Benichou. Fabrice Benichou, the French champ, the world champ, going against #1 contender from Puerto Rico, Ramon Cruz. The crowd getting up behind him here. Benichou, the local hero, living close by to Bordeaux. This is as close to home as he can get in terms of a large town. Way ahead on our card, cut over the eye, but barring an accident, he must retain his world title shot. Our picture bouncing up and down too. Our picture's getting excited like the crowd. Maybe someone stood on our wires. Good right there from Benichou.
You find it fascinating, Robin. You go 11 rounds, not too much action, and then all of a sudden in the last round, you look at Cruz and he's doing what he has to do, and you do say to yourself, why didn't he do this 3 or 4 rounds earlier?
Well, that's the question we ask all boxers. Why can't they put it together like this? But only the great can do it, Cedric.
Look at Benichou's eye. Most certainly it's opening up much more, and if Cruz had put more pressure on him.
Cruz, when he sees an opportunity, backs off. He doesn't come in. Benichou runs in, leashes the flurry.
Cruz is getting whacked about a little more than he'd like now.
Nevertheless, a gallant attempt by the number 1 challenger. He wasn't a pushover for Benichou as many thought. He's gone in there and he's gone the full distance, Cedric. What can we say, Cedric? A professional performance from Ramon Cruz, but ineffective.
That's right, but a good fight for Benichou. A very good fight. I think the kind of fight that's going to make him feel much more confident about himself.
Well, he knows he can go 12 rounds with the number 1 contender and still come out on top. Cruz got a lot of grease over his eyes, too, in the last round. Crowd egging on Benichou here. They want him to go out in a burst of glory.
Quite naturally, a very positive crowd.
Suddenly we got into a lull, Cedric, in the last round, both bouncy up and down. Benichou comes in, throws a flurry, misses with most. Cruz snakes out that left as he's been doing most of the fight. Benichou throws that overarm right.
And if anybody's looking for the knockout punch right now, it's Benichou instead of the challenger, who has to know that he's far, far behind.
Last 30 seconds of the last and final round. The IBF Junior Featherweight title from Bordeaux, France. Benichou in the white shorts. The challenger number 1 from Puerto Rico, Ramon Cruz, in the red. Benichou pouring on the power now. He wants to go out with glory in the last round. This man, Cruz, has taken the whole distance. And there won't be a knockout now. 5 seconds to go. They're slugging away at it. Benichou salutes the crowd.
And the champion throwing up his hand.
Benichou's corner runs in. They got him by the waist. They know he must have won it without a doubt there. Fabrice Benichou. We're waiting for the official decision. According to Cedric Kushner's card, has won it by a mile.
Most certainly is very, very far ahead. I have great difficulty giving him more than 1 round, and whichever way I try.
Looking at Benichou's face here as we wait, Cedric, it's quite a sticky side there, that left eye.
Well, that's why I said I was surprised that Cruz didn't put more pressure on.
Benichou throwing a few kisses out to his wife in the crowd. I think he's going to need a few stitches on that head tonight.
He won't be fighting for a while, Robin.
In the other corner, as ever, the phlegmatic Mr. Ramon Cruz. He came, he saw, but he didn't conquer. Gave a good show, wasn't good enough. I don't think the attitude was right, Cedric.
He didn't have the intensity that one needs to take the championship.
Well, at one stage, we thought he had the chance to take it when the eye popped open there on Fabrice Benichou. A more experienced challenger or a more determined challenger would have got in there, Cedric, I think, and really done something about it.
I don't know, maybe the inactivity has something to do with it, but it was a good fight. A good fight in as much as with Benichou, you never know. You never know where the punches are coming from, and you never know what he's going to do next.
Well, as we said, Cedric, right at the beginning, this is a fight in which the champ, Fabrice Benichou, will be a man who will refuse to retreat. He'll be throwing leather as if he worked for a glove factory, I think. He took some punishment. He took some reasonable stick from Ramon Cruz, who was a reasonably clever boxer. Didn't know how to quit, like most Latin American boxers, but he really didn't know what to do with the power, I think, of Benichou, and the determination. This boy's got determination. I think he got to the top 2 by determination.
Fabrice, on ne connaît pas encore la décision. Vous avez gagné?
Je pense que oui.
Techniquement, je crois que j'ai énormément évolué.
On écoute avec vous ensemble la décision. On écoute avec vous ensemble la décision.
Benichou is saying that he thinks he's made enormous improvements during this fight. He's seen his technique improve. Benichou gets the nod.
Le pointage n'a pas été donné.
Benichou retains his title
Champion du monde.
for the second time. Fabrice Benichou of France, still
conserve
the
son titre de champion du
IBF
monde.
junior featherweight champion of the world. So for Cedric
je vais
Cruz and
aller voir
myself
en
here in
vitesse
Bordeaux,
avant de
this is
conclure,
Ronnie World
car
saying a very good night to you all.